Today we are reviewing lesson 4.3, solving inequalities with multiplication and division. Our I can statement: I can solve and graph inequalities using multiplication and division, and I can solve real life problems involving inequalities. So just a quick review of solving inequalities by multiplying or dividing. So when you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by the same positive number, the inequality symbol remains the same. So when we have a positive number, inequality sign stays the same. All right, so if this was 3 times p is less than negative 18, we get rid of the times 3 by dividing by 3. Negative 18 divided by 3 is negative 6. Still stays less than. Same thing here when we have division and we cancel out by multiplying by a positive 5. That greater than or equal to sign is the same sign on your answer. However, when you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, the inequality symbol is reversed. All right, so like on this one, negative 6 times y is greater than negative 42. We would have to cancel out this negative 6 times negative 6 with dividing by negative 6, and that gives us y is less than 7. And then here we're multiplying both sides by negative 2. Again, that less than or equal to sign is going to flip to become a greater than or equal to sign. All right, so let's go ahead and try some problems here. So for A, we have a divided by 8 is less than negative 3. This is division, dividing by 8. So to cancel it out, we need to multiply by 8. And then the direction of the inequality symbol stays the same. So it started less than, it's going to continue to be a less than. We multiplied by positive 8 on both sides. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. It doesn't matter that this number is negative. It's what is happening to both sides that's changing. That depends on whether or not we change the inequality sign. All right, let's see. This is negative 4 times s is greater than or equal to negative 36. We've got a negative 4 in front of the s, so we have to divide by that negative 4. And that means our direction of the inequality symbol is going to change. So instead of greater than or equal to, now it's a less than. Or equal to, when you do your division, negative 4s divided by negative 4 is positive s. Our greater than or equal to becomes a less than or equal to. Negative 36 divided by negative 4 is 9. All right. Go ahead and try these next 4 on your own. So go ahead and pause the video and try these problems. All right, let's go ahead and check our answers. So for this first one, we are dividing by negative 7, which means we need to multiply by negative 7 on both sides to cancel out the division. We're using inverse operations. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is positive r. We multiply by a negative on both sides, so that greater than or equal to is going to be a less than or equal to. 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. For number 4, we have 9 times b is less than negative 54. We're multiplying by a positive 9, which means to solve it, we're going to divide by a positive 9. Inequality sign is staying the same because we divided by a positive number. Negative 54 divided by 9 is negative 6. Number 5, negative 3n is greater than negative 36. We're multiplying by a negative 3, which means to solve it, we're going to divide by a negative 3. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is n. Our inequality sign is flipping because we're dividing by a negative number. Negative 36 divided by negative 3 gives us a positive 12. And here c divided by 6 is less than negative 8. If I need to cancel out division, I use multiplication. I'm going to multiply by a positive 6. When I multiply by a positive number, the inequality sign is going to stay the same. 6 divided by 6 gives us c. Still is a less than sign. Negative 8 times 6 is negative 48. Now it does say to check. I'm just going to do a mental check on these. So let's see. R is less than or equal to negative 14. So I'm going to pick, we'll do negative 14 since it can be equal to that. Negative 14 divided by negative 14 divided by negative 7 gives us positive 2 is greater than or equal to 2. Yep, that's true. All right, here I need B is less than negative 6. I'll pick negative 7. 9 times negative 7 is less than negative 54. That should be a negative 7. I didn't do a very good job of writing it. That would be negative 63 is less than negative 54. Yep, that one's good. Here I need 12 is less than, n is less than 12. I'm going to do 0. 0 is less than 12. 3 times 0 is greater than negative 36. 3 times 0 is 0 is greater than negative 36. Yep, that's right. And then here I need something less than negative 48. I'm going to have to divide it by 6, so I'm going to pick a multiple of 6. So I'm going to do negative 54 divided by positive 6 is less than negative 8. Negative 54 divided by 6 is negative 9 is less than negative 8. Yep, that's right. When you get to your test, we're not going to ask you to do a check, but it's always a good idea to go back and at least think if your answer is making sense. All right, here are 3 more to try on your own. So go ahead and pause the video and try these. Okay, let's check our answers. So for number 1, we have multiplication here, 1 6/10 times m. So to cancel that out, we're going to divide by 1 6/10. 1 6/10 divided by 1 6/10 is m. I divided by a positive on both sides, so my inequality sign is still going to be greater than or equal to. And then I have negative 8 divided by 1.6. I'm going to move my decimal over and move my decimal over and add in a placeholder 0. So that becomes negative 80 divided by 16 is greater than or equal to m. So I've got to do that division. Different signs, answers negative. I'm going to go ahead and put that negative symbol there. All right, let's see. I don't know my 16s off the top of my head. I think it's 5. 16 times 5. Let's double check. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. Yep, 8. So negative 5. 16 goes into 80. 5 times, different signs, answers negative. So negative 5 is greater than or equal to m. Okay, let's look at this next one. I have negative 3 times q is greater than or equal to 91.5. So I need to divide both sides by negative 3. I have q. My inequality sign is going to change because I'm dividing by negative on both sides. Then I need to do my division. 91.5 divided by 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times. Bring down that 1. 3 does not go into 1. I'm going to bring up the decimal. Bring down the 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 15 is 15. Let's see. We had different signs here, so our answer is negative. Q is less than or equal to negative 30 and 5/10. All right, and number 3, negative 4 times p is less than 2/3. To get rid of the times negative 4, we're going to divide by negative 4. Over here, I'm going to write it this way, since this is a fraction. Divided by negative 4 over 1. All right, so I have p. It's going to become a greater than because I'm dividing by negative. Then I'm going to do keep, change, flip because I have to divide with fractions. 2/3 times 1 over 4. All right, let's see. I'll just multiply straight across. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. And then to simplify that, I could divide both my numerator and my denominator by 2 to give me the answer P is greater than 1/6. Oh, negative. This is a negative. Oh, I almost forgot that. Negative 1/6. Different signs. Answer is negative. And that's why it's always a good idea to go back and check your work. Easy to make mistakes. All right, 3 more. Go ahead and try those on your own. Okay, let's check them. So for this first one, this negative really goes with the 5. It's like a negative 5. So we cancel out dividing by negative 5 by multiplying by negative 5. We have to multiply to cancel out the negative and to cancel out the 5. So now that cancels both parts, and I'm left with T. I did multiply by a negative number, so that inequality sign is flipping. And then I'm doing 2.5 times negative 5, which I'm going to just do down here. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 1 decimal here, 1 decimal here, different signs, answer is negative. T is less than negative 12.5. All right, number 5, negative 2 is less than or equal to Q divided by negative 3/10. Because this is this is dividing, we're going to multiply to cancel it out. So we're multiplying both sides by a negative 3/10. All right, so negative 3/10 divided by negative 3/10 leaves me with Q. I divided by a negative, so I'm going to change my inequality sign. All right, if it was 3 times 2, it would be 6. 1 decimal in the problem, 1 decimal in the answer. Same signs, answer is positive. So 6/10 is less than or equal to Q. And our last one, we have 2/3 times x is greater than negative 4. To cancel out the 2/3, we're multiplying by the reciprocal. It's the same thing as dividing by 2/3. Times 3/2. I'm going to go ahead and put this 1 over 1. So my 3's cross cancel, my 2's cross cancel. I'm left with x. I multiply by a positive number, so my inequality sign is staying the same. Let's see, I'll cross cancel on this one. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Negative 2 times positive 3 is going to give me an answer of negative 6. X is greater than negative 6. All right, let's take a look at our next type of problem. Write the word sentence as an inequality, then solve the inequality. A number divided by 5 is at least 4. Okay, so a number divided by 5 is at least 4. All right, so a number, I'm going to just make that x, divided by 5 is at least means greater than or equal to 4. Now we need to solve it. So this was a divided by 5, I'm going to multiply by 5. X is greater than or equal to 4 times 5 is 20. All right, let's see. The product of 2 and a number is at most negative 6. Product means multiplying, so 2 times a number. I'm going to use n this time. At most means less than or equal to negative 6. All right, and then here to get rid of the times 2, we divide by 2. We have n is less than or equal to 3. Inequality sign is staying the same because I'm dividing by a positive. All right, let's take a look at some story problems. So for this one, it says an SUV averages 16.5 miles per gallon. The maximum average number of miles that can be driven on a full tank of gas is 363 miles. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of gallons in a tank. All right, so we need an inequality symbol. We need a key phrase to help us with that. So maximum is going to tell us that. And that means that it is going to be less than or equal to, it can't be any bigger than that, our 363 miles. Okay, 16.5 miles per gallon. So 16.5 times the number of gallons. We'll go ahead and write G for that. Per means times. 16.5 per gallons is less than or equal to 363. This is multiplication. We cancel it out with division. We need to move a decimal over. Well, I don't over here. I'm dividing by the same number. Inequality signs staying the same. Here I need to move a decimal over, move a decimal over. I've got some big numbers to deal with here. 3,630 divided by 165. I'm going to have to do a little check and guess strategy here to figure out how many times 165 goes into 363. So if I'm guessing here, I'm guessing it's going to be 2 times, but I do need to double check that. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 6 plus 1 is 13. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 330, yep, okay, so 2 times works. 330. 3 minus 0 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Bring down the 0. Okay, 165 into 330. That's also going to be 2 times. Okay, right, did it, and solve inequality that represents the number of gallons in a tank. 22 gallons. It's a big tank. All right, let's take a look at our next problem. To win a game, you need at least 45 points. Each question is worth 3 points. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of questions you need to answer correctly to win this game. So we start by looking for our inequality symbol words. At least means greater than or equal to. So I have 3 points per question. I'm going to use Q for questions. And then I need that to be greater than or equal to 45. To get rid of the times 3, I'm going to divide by 3. All right, let's see. 45 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4. 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. So 15 is my answer. Q is greater than or equal to 15 questions. Next one, Mrs. Merendez invited 8 children to her son's birthday party. She wants to make sure that each child gets at least 4 small prizes. At least how many prizes should she buy? Write and solve an inequality for this problem. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay, so our key words here, at least 4, that's what we want to equal. So at least 4, greater than or equal to 4 on our inequality. She has 8 children that are coming to the party. We need to make sure that when we divide up all of the gifts between those 8 children, that each one has at least 4. So the number of, I'm going to do P for prizes, divided by 8 needs to be greater than or equal to 4. To solve this, we're going to multiply by 8 on both sides. 8 divided by 8 is 0. P is greater than or equal to 32 prizes. All right. Let's take a look at this one. The computer club spent $1,575 on mouse pads. The members plan to sell the mouse pads during the book fair. If they charge $5 for each mouse pad, how much money must they sell in order to make a profit? Write and solve an inequality from this problem. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. Try this one. Okay, great. Let's check. Okay, so for this one, there isn't a key word like at least or at most or fewer than that tells us an inequality. We know the total here, how much they spent, is $1,575. And just thinking about it, we know they need to make more money than that to make a profit. Oops. And I put greater than or equal to. Can't be equal to. It needs to be greater than because they want to make a profit. They don't want to break even. So greater than their cost, $1,575. All right, so they charge $5 for each mouse pad. It's got to be greater than $1,575. Cancel out that multiplication with division. Got some pretty big numbers here, so I'm going to divide off to the side. Okay, 5 does not go into 1 a whole number of times. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 15 minus 15 is 0. I bring down the 7. 5 goes into 7 once. It's 5. We subtract to get 2. We bring down that 5. And I get 5. 5 times 5 is 25. All right, so 315 mouse pads. Okay, and our last one. U.S. Postal Service regulations state that a package can be mailed using Parcel Post rate if it weighs no more than 70 pounds. What is the maximum number of books weighing 12 pounds each that can be mailed in one box using the Parcel Post rates? Write and solve an inequality for this problem. Go ahead and pause and try this one on your own. All right, so our key words here for our inequality, no more than. That means less than or equal to 70. 12 pounds for each book. So I'm going to write 12 and then B for books. So 12 times the number of books, that has to be less than or equal to 70. To solve this, I'm going to have to divide by 12. B is less than or equal to, and then 70 divided by 12 I will do over here. 12 does not go into 7 a whole number of times, does go into 70 5 times. Add a decimal, add a decimal, add a 0, bring it down. Let's see, 20 goes into 100 8 times. Actually, nope, I take that back. Let's just make it a mixed number. Save myself some time. 5 and 10 twelfths, which is the same thing as 5 and 5 sixths. B is less than or equal to 5 and 5 6 books. Now I can't buy 5 6 books. That doesn't make sense. So really my answer is B is less than or equal to 5 books.